Welcome to the Arsenal show. We are live. Arsenal dealt with PSG in the Champions League after a worrying start to the new format. They made hard work of the Southampton team, which seems to be a bogey team, but is that monkey off their back now? Questions are being asked whether Saka is world class. These questions will be answered tonight. I'm joined by Steve, Kate, and Melvin Marks. How's everyone doing tonight?
Yeah, good, mate. Very, very, very good. Thanks, mate. Looking forward to tonight.
Good. Yeah, looking forward to it. Thanks, Kira, for inviting me again. Really enjoying it. Yep, can't wait.
Good starts to the season. What can more we ask? Can't ask for more than that.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how.
Unlike certain other teams, I may say.
Yeah, I mean, there's no harm in starting off with a little bit of friendly local banter. We're all laughing at Tottenham because to go 2-0 up, and the icing on the cake was that Danny Welbeck got the winner. Danny Welbeck, he is that guy, Danny Welbeck. Thank you very much, Danny Welbeck, for making my weekend special. Tottenham losing after taking the lead and James Maddison's celebration. I couldn't. But first and foremost, the main topic of tonight, Arsenal made hard work of it in the end against Southampton. They took the lead. Another game where Arsenal conceded goals last week. It was 2-2 after being 2-0 up against Leicester. And this week it was 1-0 down against Southampton. First and foremost, Steve, is there any worry that we're conceding soft goals or losing leads in games at the moment?
Not at the minute. Not too worried at the minute. Looking at some of the goals that have been scored against us, there's been some good goals scored against us, and
that one for Leicester, Justin.
I mean, you ain't stopping
goal.
You ain't stopping that, are you?
What's a goal?
I mean, you ain't stopping that. And the goal before that was deflection. The goal on, the weekend. Look, we love him, but Sleep had to do better for me for that. He was, he didn't do well on that. He didn't come out looking at that good. I watched it back a few times, and that one I think I put down to him. And Raya maybe could have had it as well, but no. Look, I mean. Not really, mate. Not this early. I mean, if it was like maybe another 7 games on top, and we was letting in twos and the odd one here and there, and maybe a defeat along the way, then I'd probably have a little moan a little bit. But I think as well, what you got to think of is that as good as our defence is, and as good as the players that we got, and the depth of it is, since this season started, we've been sort of like playing around with new players. Timbers came back in, so you're getting used to playing with him because we never see him at all last season. Sleeper Gabriel, and then we've had Calafiori come in and Ben White get injured. So there's been that little bit of getting used to each other, really, in like a match situation. It's okay doing it on training, but we all know that when you're playing, when it comes down to getting on the, to the real business, it's different. So I think there could be a little bit of that in it, but no, I don't think so, mate. Not yet. As long as we keep winning, I'm happy. So yeah, not yet, mate. Not yet.
Melvin, is there any cause for concern for you? I know you conceded a couple of scrappy goal, and we could see that a goal was deflected and an absolute weldy. Is it a worry taking the lead 2-0 up, losing the lead and having to win it back in the end of the last couple of last ditch goals, and then Southampton going 1-0 against Southampton? Is that any cause for concern for you?
I don't know about cause for concern. It's slight worry, which I think I'm not concerned because I think they'll obviously put it right what's gone wrong. It wasn't just the goal they scored, Kieran. They had a chance before that they opened out defence on their right-hand side. The guy cut inside and he should have scored. I think it was flicked and just went past. I can't know what happened to it. Do you remember, Steve? They had a chance just before they scored. I can't remember what.
This is the Southampton game you're talking about now, isn't it?
Yeah, just before they cut inside from the right hand side. The guy with socks rolled down by his ankles.
Yeah, Dibbling. Dibbling is a bit of a yeah.
A decent player. So and also we're a goalkeeper who's been excellent all season. Didn't he punch one on the head of one of their forwards and it just went over the bar? We don't want to be relying on luck. Every team needs a certain amount of luck, but not every week. And I think that's a bit of concern. We should give teams no chances. We should be more. I think we've got to be more ruthless. To be honest with you, at the back, in the defence, and more ruthless when we attack. How many chances do we have first half? Come on, that Southampton game. It was pinball. It was not just quite getting there. I'm not saying any of the footballers missed what I would say a fantastic chance. It was always like I would call a 80% chance. Just the ball was just behind them a bit. It just ran a bit too much. They're off balance. That was a bit disturbing for me that we just couldn't get. We had one shot on target first half. I didn't realise that until I saw the stats.
We didn't look right, Mel, did we? We didn't look right.
Listen,
we didn't look right. There was something not. We've all watched Arsenal long enough now, and you know after 10 minutes. I don't know. Yeah. I'm sure you're the same. You know after 10 minutes that you start to get worried and you think, we need to back up a little bit here. Something's not right.
You feel the vibe, don't you, Steve? You do feel the vibe.
You do. You feel 100%, mate. You feel that vibe. And although there was the beginning and there was all that nicey stuff, and we looked like when we got the ball, you was like, right. You started rubbing your hands together. And then you started, getting into their box and you started thinking, right, now, come on, it's going to be an early goal, even maybe two. And then the chances never came.
There were hard chances, Steve.
Yeah, and the right ball wasn't, definitely. And the right ball wasn't being played. And the players who should have been players who should have been in certain areas wasn't in those areas. So you're thinking, is this going to be the story of the game? And then you start to worry. And that's how I felt early on, mate. I think.
And also, when you pick, and I'm having to go at the manager, but when you pick Partey right back, you always feel that if they put any pressure on our their left hand side to our right hand side, we could be struggling because as good a player he is, he's not a right back, and he cannot.
Yeah. Did he have any choice though?
Yeah, he did have, in my opinion, he could have played Calafiore right back and
I don't think
or left back. He's played right back before for us, Calafiore. He's got a great.
Is he?
Yeah.
He played right back. I didn't know that.
Was it the Porto game he went over? Not Porto. PSG game he switched second half when someone got injured.
I don't know.
It was PSG. It was PSG. Yeah,
and he played all right, didn't he, Kieran?
Yeah.
He's a better
it might be different. It might be different for a whole game.
He's a better right back than Partey. Let's face it.
I didn't know.
That's what I would do. No,
I missed the PSG game, so I was away, so I never see that game. I only see highlights. I wasn't sure.
But anyway, that was the thing for the defence. We should be killing them when they're 25 yards from goal. They can have the ball. Another couple of yards, mate. You're crossing the line. You ain't going to have that ball in a comfortable position. And we let them get through a few times, and they were getting a lot of confidence. Thank God we scored just after they scored, because I'll tell you something. Another few minutes, it would have all of a sudden doubt would have been in people's minds on the pitch and the crowd. But we got the goal, and that changed everything.
Yeah.
Do you put down any of the sort of little bit of disjointedness down to the fact that we've had, like you alluded to at the start, Steve, so many changes. I know we brought in Partey at right back. Obviously, Timber's injured. Ben White is injured.
Yeah.
Jorginho's coming in the middle. Sterling on the left, and was at his first start. Jesus back into the team. So the team's slightly disjointed. There's a little bit of lack of connection there, just from not playing with each other all the time. Something they can get over. It's still early doors in the season. Yeah, it's one of those ones.
Yeah, definitely, mate. I felt. I mean, when I see the team sheet, I didn't have the concern. There was no concern there because it was Southampton.
Yeah.
You know, in all due respect, that it was Southampton. So there was no worry when I first see the team sheet. Look, I see Sterling was there. I was happy that Sterling started. You know, I wanted to see Sterling. I thought it was the perfect game to bring him in. So
Mm-hmm.
I think like, okay, in hindsight, we can talk about what went on afterwards. But, you know, looking at what games you're going to play Sterling in, this would have been the perfect game, you know, to get him confidence, give him 90 minutes. So I ain't got a problem. Didn't have any problem in being there. Jesus, I never had a problem being him in front. We all know he's been off form. We need him to get some goals. We needed to, we needed to see him start performing better. Look, we all know we don't really want to see Havertz in the 8 either. But he does. I tell you what, he does a job in the 8. But he's not an 8. If you know, he's not someone we ideally want to see him in midfield. I go back to the beginning and what I first said. Because this was Southampton, I never had a problem. But again, like I said, you know, at the beginning of the show, we just started talking about it. It was rub my hands together. Yeah, this is good. But after about 5 minutes, you got that vibe that something was wrong. And all of a sudden you thought, maybe he's made exactly what you said, mate. There's too many changes because we'll go on and talk about it, but Sterling wasn't really working. Jesus wasn't working. And because they wasn't working, Havertz wasn't, been able to get into the game. He was seemed to be doing more work than what he should have been. And it just wasn't connecting together. And the fact that he was Southampton very quickly went out the window and you started to have concerns, mate, rather than think how you felt at the beginning when you felt you was excited to see the team sheet just due to we all wanted to see, players who haven't been getting minutes. We wanted to see them getting minutes. So I was happy with that. In hindsight, we would have been better to play Nwaneri, than probably anyone else. But look, they needed minutes. We won the game, and in the end, it wasn't a problem. But yeah, I do agree, mate. The changes affected for me after 90 minutes. I was pretty sure that maybe he probably played one too many changes, too many. In hindsight, because at the beginning, I don't blame the manager for picking that team because I felt playing a team like Southampton, this is the type of game that you would do that. So, yeah.
Melvin, what do you think was missing from the players that did come into the game? The likes of Sterling, Jorginho. What do you think was missing from their performances?
I think with Jesus, sorry, did you say, or Sterling? Sterling. He just wasn't doing it. He got in some good positions, but his final pass or final decision just wasn't good enough. He looked dangerous. He had the beating at the back, but just wouldn't beat him. He just might have got past him once or twice and just failed to get his toe to the ball or something, or push it sideways. I think he was unlucky on one particular point where I thought he did get brought down in the box. But apart from that, he wasn't. It just didn't. It's one of those games that didn't work for him. Like, he hasn't played in the first team for us for ages, so you can't blame him too much. I was more with Jorginho. He had a very, what I thought was a quiet game, and it's a type of game where we needed to push on. And I think that he's quite good sometimes going forward, but he didn't show any of that on Saturday, I'm afraid. And just go back to Jesus, who I want to talk about. It worries me now. It's too long. He was just floundering. Every decision again was wrong. His touch was off. His decision making was off again. He needs something to happen. He needs a goal. He needs get a hat trick one game. Just a couple of goals just to get him back on track. Because at the moment he's way off track. Way off track. He reminds me. He's not that at that point, but he reminds me of where Lacazette was the last season when he was with us. Just basically wearing the shirt and not quite getting to the ball, not scoring any goals, not fitting in with the rest of the players. It just wasn't happening, and it's a shame because he's definitely got it, Jesus. Absolutely, definitely got it. But it is what it is. But the changes the manager made was spot on, and that's what he's there for. And he did it well, in my opinion.
All right, Steve. We saw Martinelli's game has changed since he scored that goal. He looked like a different person after he scored that goal. Yeah. He had a bit more composure. He wasn't rushing at 100 miles an hour. got on another goal on the weekend. Do you think if Jesus gets that goal, it could sort of take the weight off his shoulders? It does seem like he's playing under pressure that he's putting on himself because he's getting into position. Sometimes you're seeing Jesus do what he does, where he gets around three players or dribbling with the ball, and he's just not quite happening for him. It wasn't quite at that this weekend, but we've seen it in previous games. All the build-up plays there, just in front of goal. He's sort of not relaxing, is he?
No, mate, he's trying too hard, isn't he? You know, he's got too hard, and you know, I mean, that's understandable. He wants to do well. You know, he wants his position back. You know, he wants that because, you know, a few years ago, I mean, who would have thought that we would be saying that, you know, Kai Havertz is our main centre forward and Jesus would, you know, is our second string, if you like. But he does need a goal. I mean, even if it's not a goal, he needs a good game, Kears. He just needs to play well, because even when you take away the goals, he's not playing well. You know, it's just not that. You know, not everybody can score. Jesus is one of these players who's not going to ever score tons and tons of goals. He isn't. Do you know what I mean? He isn't that. He's someone who will get 10, 15 a season, and you know, and probably get the same amount of assists, and just work his nuts off like we see him doing. Like Melvin said, he's capable of doing. He's trying too hard. He's trying too hard to score goals, and for what he's doing, it's to the detriment of you know, of the football team. You know, when he plays, there's parts of our game that don't look right because he's in the team, and that's terrible. I love Jesus. When he signed, I was like, I've stuck through him. You know, people saying, you know, he's the wrong player, he's shooting the ball, and he was the right player at that time for Arsenal. You know, and I still think he can do a job, but he's trying too hard. He needs a goal. He certainly needs a goal, but overall he needs to play well. And if I see him play well and get a couple of assists every now and then, or come on and make a difference, then that's fine. I mean, but at the moment he's not doing anything. When he's coming onto the pitch, he's not contributing. If he comes on the sub, he doesn't do anything. He gives the ball away. His passing's off. Yes, we do see him every now and then doing the tricks and all that, and it's all lovely. But you know, his final ball isn't up to standards. But I'm with Melvin. I'm beginning to worry a little bit now. You know, because it's going on for a long while. But at the same time, it must be hard. It must be hard for him because, you know, when a player comes in and takes your spot, you know, and someone who's like Kai Havertz, who's been unbelievable since January and just scoring for fun now. It's even if he does scores, he might be thinking to himself, well, even if I do score, I'm still not going to be in the team. He's not. Kai Havertz is not going to be dropped for Jesus, is he? So that can't be helped. Even if he got an hat-trick next week against Bournemouth, and I doubt if Kai Havertz would be dropped the week after. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you think. You guys think? I mean, are we looking at a player now who's a squad player? You know, is this what we want? Which ain't a bad thing when you're going for a title, because this is what you need. But is it what he needs? I think that's the problem. Is he happy with that?
I don't suppose. I don't suppose he's thinking far further than getting a goal, if I'm honest. If I'm coming in and I'm Jesus and I haven't scored in, 8-9 months, there's no way I'm thinking about if I score, am I playing the next game?
Is it that what it is? Is that what it is?
I don't know. I'm saying I'm not thinking that. There's no way I'm thinking that. There's no way I'm thinking that far ahead. It's here and now. Like he's you can tell he's frustrated at himself that he's not getting on the score sheet. Yeah. He's not putting it in the back of the net. Like, for any striker to not score in 3-4 games is for them, it's going to be bad enough. But if they have not scored in like 25, 30 games, that is a big weight on his shoulders, and I think it's that. I think we saw what he was like, because we've got to remember what he was like when he first came in, and he absolutely destroyed me.
Yeah.
He was scoring goals left, right, and centre. Then he had that little patch where he wasn't really scoring, but he was creating a lot, and he was still doing well. He really got in his own head in that time there. You could tell that he was getting in his own head, even off the back of scoring a load of goals, and he hadn't scored in about 3 or 4 games. He was already starting to get, you could see, tightening up, not being composed in around here, missing absolute sitters, headers, things like that. So he very much seems like a confidence player in front of the goal, where he needs to be scoring goals to keep that confidence up, because he's not clinical either. So he's going to miss chances. So he needs that goal. There is a bit of concern, but look, if he comes in and scores a couple of goals against the team and then follows that form on, then it's only going to be good for us at the end of the day. So the concern would go then, but he just needs to score. I think he needs to score.
Yeah, like Martinelli, like Martinelli. He's just a different, different player, isn't he? Over the last 3 games, now you're saying give him the ball, where before you was like, well, what's he going to do? If he crosses it, it's not going to go. Now you're like, give him the ball, because now we look like, fingers crossed, he's back to his back to somewhat, probably not to his, fully best at the minute, but yeah, he's definitely on that trajectory at the moment, and that's what Jesus needs to do, a bit of that.
Yeah, I fully agree. Mel, we saw the subs come on: Martinelli, Mikel Moreno, Jacob Gideon, and Tomiyasu getting back on the team sheet as well. But Martinelli with another goal in back-to-back games, looking like he's a bit more confident. That goal made a big difference against the other week against Leicester, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. But I thought when he came on, it wasn't just the goal he scored against Southampton. Before he scored it, he was looking lively. He was looking very good. I mean, he was looking like the old self, getting the ball, just beating the back, coming in, chasing back. It wasn't. But he seemed to have a more freedom. It seemed the way he played. Whether that's with his mind or something, I don't know. And when he got that goal, I mean, it was fabulous. The only thing is, we were sitting there.
Great finish, wasn't it? It was hard. It wasn't an easy finish. That was difficult finish.
The only thing was the VAR. I mean, have they got bad internet, the VAR people or something? How long did
what was that? I thought the same. I was going, what are they looking at? What are they looking at? I kept looking at it. What are they looking at?
I mean, I don't know. Did someone not put a sixpence in a meter or something? Because it took so long for them to come up with, and also
got one of my meters.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry.
No one knows what a bloody sixpence is.
No,
what?
No, but
sixpence.
But like my son said, it's supposed to be with any decision something error. Was it called a clear and obvious error?
Yeah, clear and obvious.
It can't be clear and obvious if it takes that long for VAR to make a decision. So I just don't see the point of it. I give up.
It took ages.
Yeah, it did take ages.
Yeah, I'm done with it.
And Steve, what was it in Sterling's game that was missing? I know Melvin had his say, but what do you think was missing from Sterling's game?
I think he when he got the ball, I thought he looked dangerous. Do you know what I mean? He was going around a couple of players. For me, it was his final ball, mate. I think it will come with Sterling. He looks hungry. I'll give him that. When he runs at defenders, he excites me. You can see that. Defenders always sort of have a problem with him, and they're concerned about him. And yeah, I think it's not a lot there with Sterling. I don't think it's going to take much. I think it will come. The only difficult thing with Sterling is game time. When is he going to play and when? Because at the moment, it's not like, I mean, some players we was talking about at the beginning of the season before Martinelli got, was a little bit off his form, or quite a lot off his form. And we were saying, well, let's start Sterling, let's give Sterling a go. It just shows how much, things can change. A few games down the line, now you're thinking Sterling's got no chance of getting in now. Martinelli's on it again. So it's difficult to him where he's going to get his game time. But yeah, look, I mean, he hasn't, pulled up any trees or anything at the minute, but I don't think he's far off. Do you know what I mean? I think he was unlucky a few times. He's come close to scoring a couple of times, had a few decent shots in games, when I've seen him. And he should do. He's a confident player. Do you know what I mean? He's I think he backs his own ability. I think his only problem was where he was at Chelsea, and that was people sort of got on his back and sort of typecast him for when he was there, similar to what they did with Havertz. But yeah, look, early days with Sterling. Do you know what I mean? He hasn't had a proper full game yet, just one. He wasn't bad, he wasn't great, he was just okay. And yeah, I'm look forward to seeing him, maybe in the next game against, is it Preston we got in the League Cup coming up?
Yeah.
Let's see him in that, and hopefully we'll be able to get a few games done and he'll be able to come on. But I'm not worried about Sterling. There's no players at the moment. I look at our team. I think we're looking good. I think Martinelli is the biggest plus for me at the minute. The way if Martinelli can do what he done 2 years ago, and Saka can just continue. We'll talk about Saka. If Saka can continue doing what he's doing, with Havertz doing what he's doing, then I'll tell you what, it's no surprise we're title favourites now. Finally, do you know what I mean? With everybody,
are we favourites?
Yeah, we're favourites now.
But what difference does that make? Who cares if anyone puts us as favourites?
It don't mean anything now, mate. It doesn't mean anything. I think the only thing that pleases me about it is the fact that some people are recognising how good we are, and it's like, I could have told you how close we are, where we should have been last year, and stuff, but. Yeah, and City obviously have dropped off. They've lost Rodri and so on and so forth. But I just say I ain't got no worries. Sterling, I really do think he will come good. Again, we've got to have good bench players. We've got to have good players coming off the bench in Champions League games, in league games. And look, if Jesus and Sterling are, and then wary of these, I mean, that can only be good for Arsenal. We just got to hope that they can accept that, and I'm pretty sure that they can. Also, I think a big plus as well that we wasn't too sure of. I think we haven't spoke about is Calafiore. I think he's unbelievable. I think this geezer's going to go. 22 years old now. I think he's going right to the top. This bloke, I'm really impressed by him.
Yeah, no.
Where are they going to play him? I have no idea.
Calafiore looks quality. He does. He looks like a quality player. Ian Wright said, I can say something about Gabriel Jesus because I feel the need to support him right now. He said on the podcast, I really do. I know he's feeling that he may have outgrown him, but I remember when Gabby came, he was a leveler. He leveled us up. Sorry, he leveled us up. Arsenal are a certain level now. But we'll definitely need him at some stage. So I think it's important at the moment.
100%.
Support him. I think that's true. Look, fans are very aware of players. Very aware of what's going on in social media now. Of how the fans feel when you hear the grumbles and the moans at the ground. Yes, there's going to be initial disappointment. Yeah, we had that, but we saw that this Arsenal fan base, when they want to. When the chips are down, they can support. We saw a couple of seasons ago a Saliba score an own goal, and Arsenal fans cheered him afterwards like we'd scored a goal. I think sometimes the players need that, and I think it doesn't always have to be your favourite player. They would do it for Saliba, they do it for Saka, do it for some of these players that every player needs it now and again.
100%.
Every player needs it now and again. So
it's not often, is it, mate? That. And our fan base have been guilty of this in the past, of recently, obviously, because we're playing well. But yeah, look, when someone's down, we need to pick him up. Do you know what I mean? Not get his back, because I'm seeing it a little bit though, Kears. out and around. People are get rid of him, sell him, get him out of
we're
the
very
club.
quick. There's a lot of people online that are quick, very quick for that nonsense, isn't they?
Yeah, they think with their feet instead of their brain. Do you know what I mean? They don't realise that you've got to have players like Jesus on the bench if you're going to win Champions League and titles. You can't have Eddie Nketiah and Reece Nelson. Bless them.
Exactly. Yeah.
The only thing is I agree, having Jesus on the bench is what you want, but it's only an advantage if it's Jesus of old, not Jesus of today.
Yeah, but how do we get Jesus of old? Is it by moaning and groaning every time he misses a shot, or get behind him sometimes?
I don't think
it could be a bit of both.
I don't think it's been that bad, the moaning and groaning. It hasn't been booing or anything as bad as that.
No, definitely not. We could be worse.
It could be a lot worse, Kieran.
It
could be a lot worse, yeah.
I remember when Theo Walcott used to come on and they wanted Joel Campbell on instead. Yeah. Things like that. It's things like that. Little things.
So I'm not, I think that he's got to sort himself out. He's got, with the help of Arsenal, they've got to sort him out one way or the other.
Yeah, he needs that goal. Maybe he needs that penalty that the Arsenal players gifted Kai Havertz this time last season.
Hold on, didn't Adebayor or Lacazette give one of them give the other the ball to score a penalty? Was his first goal?
No, it was hadn't scored in a while, wasn't it? It was Aubameyang, or one of them hadn't scored in a while when he gave the penalty.
That's it. Oh, that's
it's the same as what we've done with Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz
exactly. We need something like that.
The thing 007. This is what I mean by they're very aware of what it's like on the socials. It's no coincidence that Kai Havertz was given the penalty on the 6th game after a lot of fans were making up the memes 007. So he got it on the 6th game. He scored in his 6th game. They're very aware, self-aware of what's going on, and that's what I'm saying. It's things like that. It's not just on the pitch. Shows support.
We got the manager, we got the captain who can certainly, and the players they'll get behind him.
Yeah,
I ain't got no problem.
I think he scored. It's just. I agree with Melvin. It's when he's not delivering the danger around the box, the dribbling, the assist. When he's not doing that, it is a bit of a worry because he's losing all of his game. He's losing that magic side that we like as well. So yeah, he does need it back.
Do you think it's something to do with like, especially with Kai Havertz? He's a different type of centre forward, and they're playing a different way.
I would say no, because of the things I'm seeing him do. Like, it's more of the things he's not doing when he is on the ball that I would say is out of character for him. Like, he's very good dribbling. He's very good at getting out of tight spaces. Like, if he's not scoring, we need to see that at least. We're not seeing that. One player I wanted to give a shout out to before we move on to the next topic. Aaron Ramsdale. I got a great reception from the Arsenal fans on the weekend. The guy was brought to tears. But what I want to speak about is Aaron Ramsdale's professionalism, humility throughout. There was a interview on the BBC that he did. So if you've not seen it, go and check it out. He was asked about his time while he was on the bench. He mentioned that it was frustrating. Every time he got home, his wife would say to him, "You was on the TV 4 or 5 times today. You was on the TV 5 or 6 times today." And he just didn't understand why. He just said that the media had built up something out of nothing. A lot of the things that are being spoken about just weren't the case, which then takes me back to the comments from Carragher, which I didn't like. I didn't like at the time because it questioned his professionalism, his integrity, and the character of the person that he is by saying that essentially when the cameras went to him, he was faking the clap. He was doing that for the cameras. That's questioning someone's character, and I don't like that because you don't know him. And to say
he's
that,
one to talk, isn't he?
Exactly.
I was about to say that, Steve. I was just about to say that.
Yeah, and to say that about someone you don't know, that they're clapping for the cameras because they know the cameras are him. I didn't like that at all. So, and he set the record straight the other day. Not only did he set the record straight there, he went on to say that it's that Mikel Arteta has made the right decision because of the way that David Raya has started this season and played so well. Which for any person to turn around and say that they were, whether it's work, life, whatever, to say that the person had made the right decision because of look where it is now, takes a proper man. Like and hands up to him, like utmost respect for Aaron Ramsdale beforehand, but even more so after seeing that interview with him. Proper professional, proper decent gentleman and human being. So yeah, shout out to Aaron Ramsdale for that one.
Couldn't add anything more to that, really, Mel. Could we? He's just put that, you know, he put that brilliantly. And I mean, what a guy! And as I say, and again, we all know how good a goalkeeper he is.
Yeah,
we do. We all know that in the end he did make the right decision. But you know, as I say, the main thing that's come out of this is like, you know, what a human being and what a man he is. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, big up to him. I just hope that he goes on and one day he's in the sticks of that England goal. Because if anybody deserves it in this country as a goalkeeper, it's him. So hoping. Although I was hoping he'd throw one in for us. You know, after
he had a good game. He had a good game, didn't he?
I was going about 60 minutes. I was going, come on, Aaron, your mates have got a title here, mate. Throw it in, but no. You know, I was doing that, to be honest with you, but it was. Can't speak highly enough.
Can I just say something? The talk of the title, we can all dream, but the talk of the title is premature as Spurs winning a game 2-0 and think they're going to win. All right, so just leave it there.
100%. We ain't jumping the gun yet. This is why I don't like this. What I don't like, Steve, about we can be labelled favourites. That's all well and good. But how is it that Manchester City have lost Rodri, and all of a sudden, like it's ours to lose? This is what I don't like.
It's nonsense.
This is what I don't like. This narrative.
What about Liverpool? What about Liverpool?
Thank you. Liverpool are top of the league.
Oh no, no one talks about them.
Liverpool top of the league.
That's a freaking result against Forest. Take that out of the equation. They're 4 points, mate. They've drawn the game, have they?
Yeah, I just look.
And they're playing good football, Liverpool. Let's face it.
Yeah, if we was allowed to play,
they're not just beating teams like we're doing. They're putting teams to the sword.
Yeah,
this is I don't like this narrative that they're spinning. Look, Arsenal have a very good chance of winning the league now with Manchester City losing Rodri. But Manchester City is still Manchester City. Let's not let people plant that seed, people. It's Manchester City, Arsenal, and Liverpool in this title race at the moment. And I wouldn't write off Chelsea because they're looking good as well, and they're only a couple of points behind us.
I'll tell you what, did you see that game?
I know we don't like conversation.
I know you don't like talking about other teams, but I saw Match of the Day, the Chelsea game. What a weird game that was. Did you see it?
Yeah, I never said.
Did you see it, Kieran? Yeah. The last couple of minutes when both teams should have scored.
Yeah,
it was mental. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, that's what Chelsea are like at the moment. They're very open, open.
Yeah,
but they're putting the ball in the back of the net. So they're a dangerous team, and they might. It's probably too early for them, but they're a team that could make a big difference in who does win the league.
Yeah,
because they're a team that could take points off. So we've got to watch out for them danger teams.
Yeah,
the teams that we were brushing past last season are going to be a bit of a trouble this season. We've done well against Aston Villa. Yeah. That's brilliant to get that result against Villa.
How many games we played?
Six now, 7.
6 or 7, right. Yeah. What I've seen in our games I've watched all of our games, obviously. 6. And some of the others I've picked up live or Match of the Day, right? Should I tell you something? There ain't a lot of walkovers.
There's not.
There was last year. People got to realise that. There's no longer... you might fancy one team against another, like us against Southampton at home. But boy, you've got to fight for every game.
Good show as well.
Fulham. Look at Man City, Fulham. They nearly got a point.
I think it's always been like that. I've always championed that in this Premier League. You can't.
I think it's got closer, Steve.
I don't know. I've always said that. I've always said that. Anybody can beat anybody. I've always said
definitely. But what I'm seeing different this year, is if you look at the table, the teams that were doing like well at the end of the last season, Crystal Palace sitting in 18th. Crystal Palace in 18th. Man United, they're in an absolute state at the moment.
They're the best team in the world.
But they're 14th. They're 14th.
But their manager
Like,
says they're the best
it's
team
going
in
to
the
get
world.
to a point where these teams are going to wake up. So I want to get these games out of the way. Let's get these points to these teams
but
out of the way.
It is a thing with Rodri now. We all know how good Rodri is, right?
Yeah.
Right, and we know, but I'm not having it.
No, I'm not having it.
I'm not having it.
They were just like, Rodri's out. It's Arsenal's league now.
But even City fans are like speaking about it.
Yeah.
Oh, that. Well, look, let's start the season off. We ain't had Odegaard for a start.
Yeah.
Right, and Odegaard's just important to us as your Rodri. Fair enough. Look, we're going to have Odegaard back.
Yeah. Fair
enough. Right, we know that. But don't start City fans and all rival fans.
I'm not letting City fans off.
Don't start giving me this Rodri nonsense.
Yeah,
right.
I'm having it from them.
Don't give me it. The great City. Yeah. Right? Well, you one-man team now, are you?
Exactly.
Right? Well, you one-man team.
What happened when it was Saliba? What happened when it was Saliba?
Mate, you've just took the words right out of my mouth. This is what I was leading up to, mate.
We're not having it.
It was what we lost the league by 5 points, right? We had Saliba out for half the season. Do not give me Rodri at the end of the season. I will come at you. I will come at you, and I will throw William Saliba at you. Right, and you will be like zip. I will zip you up. That's City fans. That's rival fans. 5 points.
We had no Gabriel Jesus for half a season in the season where he smashed it in the first half. No Thomas Partey, and then they tried to mock us and say, "Oh, what one-man team Saliba? Oh, what Partey's? Oh, you're going to replace Partey? Oh, what
one-man team
Jesus
City?
Even that important?
One-man team City?
What? What
and this is what I say. I say the same thing about Haaland. This right?
Okay,
Haaland scored 9 goals.
Important player, is he?
What?
No, not Haaland. There's a much bigger factor. No, the
Who's
referee. You got to know the referee.
But even like
whoever the referee is, the referee gets injured. We got a chance.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to go on to like another rant about a completely different subject. But again, I just want to prove my point, like I've said for years and years and years about this striker nonsense that I've gone with Arsenal fans for years. Right, we've all had Ireland at the beginning of the season. Oh, the great Ireland scored hat-trick here, there, and everywhere. Right, 9 goals. Yeah, I've always said Arsenal score goals everywhere. What's the goal difference right now with the great Ireland scoring hat-tricks every week? The same as Arsenal.
Is it?
Point proven.
9 and 9 on City.
Thank you. Point proven. Right. I just yeah. And what was the goal difference last year? Exactly the same.
No, we had their goal difference, didn't we?
With the great Haaland.
We had a better defence. We had a better defence. They had better goals. They had more goals. So I think they just about nipped it.
People come up. No, I think it was level, mate. I think it was 60. I'm pretty sure. Check it. I'm pretty sure it was level. We had the exact same goal difference. So it's not all about...
Yeah, 62.
Yeah, I thought so, mate.
They scored 96. We scored 91. They conceded 34. We conceded 29.
Yeah, and that's why we've had for years now, like, you need a striker, you need an Ireland. No, we don't need an Ireland, right? How many more years do you want proof of that it don't mean anything unless... If everyone else is scoring, it's not rocket. But I'm going on to another subject. Yeah, just don't give me Rodri, please, because I'll come for you.
Yeah, I'm not having that. I'm not having that one player missing. And then yes, it's a massive player, a big player. But you can't just lose Rodri and go, yeah, well, it's yours to lose. Like
greatest team in the world, didn't they? Greatest team in the world.
I'm not having that. There is no way if we lost Declan Rice or Thomas Partey. You'll be saying anything. You replace him with a player. You've got Kovacic in there. He can do a job. Just like when we lost Partey, we had to play Jorginho last season. Like if we lost Rice, it'd be a big loss. But we'd put someone else in there, and you'd still be expecting us.
You have to get on with it
to raise those levels and put in a title challenge. And Man City will put in a title challenge because they've got Pep Guardiola. They've got this amazing team. So let's not use Rodri as an excuse, people. I'm not having that. They need
They
to be in
will.
the title challenge as much as everyone else is going to be in there. And I think they will be. Big topic here. Bukayo Saka. Questions have been asked multiple times. We've seen a level of composure, a level of maturity in Bukayo Saka this season that I feel is a little bit different. He's been wearing the captain's armband. He's taken that weight on his shoulders, and he says himself that he's loving it. Is this the season, Steve, that you put it to bed and say Bukayo Saka is world class if he continues to do what he's done the last 3 seasons?
Yeah, I mean we've been very, sort of like, found it difficult to call any of our reserved. That's a good word, mate. That's what I was looking for. Reserved, on a lot of our players. Odegaard, Saliba, Rice, Saka. With the questions come up about all of them, and but Saka. We've the last season, we was probably saying we needed to see something else from him, a bit more. Maybe it was Arsenal fans being that, or us being a little bit, didn't really want to say he was world class yet, because something would sort of hit us back in the face. But, mate, this season, has he been the best player this season in the Premier League?
Oh, one of them, easily one of them.
People will bring up Cole Palmer. Okay, they'll bring up him, but he's up there. I think he's first in every single stat. I mean, I'm not one for stats. I only need to use my eyes. I don't need to look at stats, but I see something today that he's first in everything. First in assists, first in dribbles, first in just you name it, from the right wing, first in everything. And I think he's just getting better than ever, mate. I think he's at that point now where at the beginning of last season, we felt that because we was changing the system, he was going a little bit off. We felt that we needed to do more, but he's picked it up again, mate. And I think I've got to this point now where I think he is. I genuinely think he is world class.
Mm-hmm.
I think he is. I mean, what is world class? He came into the side 4 or 5 years ago under Arteta, and ever since he came into the club, his trajectory has just got higher and higher and higher and higher and higher, and he's never gone backwards. And now he's at a level where, for me, he's probably Arsenal's most important player, and that's saying something when you look at Arsenal's team, right?
Yeah.
And for me, he's England's most important player.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen him. People said, "Oh, he's got to do it in the Champions League." Well, for me, he does it in the Champions League. He's definitely performed in the Champions League. He's proved it for England at World Cups. He's been their best player, and his last season in the Euros, he was voted the best player. What more has he got to do to be world class, Kears? I don't know. I don't know what more this kid. His consistency. His consistency unbelievable. Week in, week out.
Yeah,
it is, mate. Is it?
Yeah, no, it is. It is. For me, it was this season. Like we've seen it, and I've always said that it's about being consistent. And for me, there was slight bits of his game where I felt like he was questioning himself, where maybe he didn't get past the man and he wouldn't go down that alley again. It just looked to cut in and pass it inwards and look for the shot off there. And it was I felt it was hampering his game, because as a winger, I feel like you've just got to be relentless sometimes. I think like as a winger, you've just got to keep on going at the man and keep the pressure on him. And eventually sometimes it will break. You've seen it with these players. And Saka's got the ability to do that. And I think it was more about him having that self-confidence. From the first game this season, I've seen a different Bukayo Saka.
Yeah, I think we've been a little bit harsh, mate. Do you think we've been a little bit harsh? Looking back now.
I don't think we have been. I really don't
sometimes
think we have been.
he had a few bad games there. and then the subject will come up, and we're like, yeah, he's not there yet, is he?
Yeah,
But when you put it into context, his consistency since 2020 has been unbelievable.
Yeah, no,
Unbelievable.
100%. His consistency of putting the stats on the board, have been there for the last 3 years. But I still felt there were still gaps in his game. Now I'm not seeing that at all. I'm not seeing any gaps in his game. Defensively, excellent.
Yeah, brilliant.
He worked for the team. Assists. That when he makes a decision, it's with purpose.
That ball the weekend, mate.
Everything is with purpose with him now. I see him at the start of the season adding a few skills in his game, a couple of step overs and little there's different parts of his game which he's adding as well now because he's got that level of confidence where he knows in his head, I've got this guy. Anyone they put in front of him, I feel he thinks I've got them today. Yeah. Like that he is not worried about anyone. This guy this season will shut anyone up about that question. It's not is Saka world class, it's how far can he go?
Are you there then?
Well, this is the season, isn't it? This is the season.
No, mate. I've gone already.
That's fair, Steve. That's fair. That's completely fair. But for me, I look, he's playing at a world-class level, and he has been for the last 3 seasons. You got to say he's world-class. But there's no argument about world-class. He's doing it this season. I can't see him dropping off.
No,
he's there. He's there. This is the Saka showing he is world-class. This is it. So yeah, he is world-class. This season is the Saka telling everyone he is world-class. He's doing it every game. The assist from Martinelli, the assist. If that was Kevin De Bruyne, everyone would still be talking about it now. That assist was De Bruyne-esque. I can't even say anyone else because.
And how old is he, Keith? How old is he?
What, 23?
That's mad. That's mad.
23. He's 23, and he's just turned 23 as well.
And I'll tell you something.
He was 23 on the 5th of September.
I'll tell you something, Mel. Sorry, there's a question I want to ask both of you at the end, but Melvin will be next, right? But if Saka was doing this in Spain for Barcelona in Lamal's position, he would be the next.
He'd be the talk of the town.
He'd be the greatest thing. It'd be the greatest thing on the planet.
I said that to myself earlier. I said it to myself earlier. If Saka was playing for Barcelona, for Manchester City, for Real Madrid, everyone would be saying Saka is the best right winger on the planet. He's one of the best players in the world, and he is without a doubt world class because of what he's done for the past 3 seasons.
100%, mate. I totally agree.
Melvin.
Now, Melvin, nowhere near it. Melvin's going to say.
Judge, jury, and executioner here. Judge Melv, what we saying on Saka?
Drum roll.
Saka is amazing. What he's done from a kid of like 17, 18 coming in the team has been unbelievable, both on and off the park. He is a special, special player, but for me, he's not yet world class. For me, I'm old fashioned. I grew up on world class in your Pelés and your Maradonas and your.
But there's never going to be them, are there? There's never going to be them, is there?
No, but that's the level.
But there's never going to. That's good.
Yeah, no, but he should be. He should go for that. He could become that. There's no reason why he's got it all, but he's not quite there yet. World class is something that it's like a few seasons ago, every player that played for England was dubbed at some stage world class. No. That's not world class. World class is something like sprinkling on top of a cake. You know, it's that thing you can't actually see, but you know it's there. And as good as he is, and bloody hell, he is good. He's fantastic. For me, he just lacks that little bit, but he's going to get there. Because like you said, every season he improves. He never goes back. So I think.
What do you think he needs to add just to tip him over that edge for you, Melvin?
He gets lots of assists. He gets lots of goals. But I think sometimes his decision making is not the best when he's 1-on-1 or he's either got to give a quick pass. He's sometimes.
And
Go
on.
on.
I agree, but I think
right,
he's doing it this season. That's what
he's
I
doing
think.
it better. He's doing it better,
Yeah.
Kieran. I agree, but not to the extent where he's roasted a back every week. Although he gets kicked to high heaven, which is a joke. He roasts it back, and then he doesn't, to my opinion, take advantage of it the rest of the game. He sometimes goes down a little gear sometimes.
He needs to be a killer.
Yeah, exactly. That's more ruthless. Yeah, like a lot of our players.
More like Robin. Robin
he never
to
stopped.
by the time
he never
like
stopped.
the last 2 seasons at Chelsea.
He used to smell blood, Robin.
Yeah.
He used to smell blood. And that's the only thing. And I think he'll get there. He's got all the ability. He's got it in his heart. He'll get there.
I genuinely think it will be this season. And I agree with you. Because look, I say it there. This is the season for me that he proves that he's world class. And by the end of the season, I think we're going to see that. I really do. Like I'm seeing a different Saka, and game by game, I think by the end of the season we're going to see a savage Saka, a ruthless Saka, who is smashing in goals. And then past that, if we win the league, I think it elevates our players another level as well.
Is there I'm trying to think, like, I've gone through this before I come on the show tonight, like, and I thought about whether I would have wanted to sort of give him that, that title as being world class. And I mean, is there a better right winger than him in Europe at the moment? Maybe Lamar. Who's better than him?
Nah. Lamar's. I think Lamar is a special generational talent, yeah. But I have not given.
He's not all round.
I've not given Saka the credit of this world class tag because I talk about years of consistency. We saw players like Ansu Fati absolutely light up the Liga a few years back, and he's completely fallen off to the point where he didn't even get into the Brighton's team in the end. There's still a talent there, and there's still a player in Ansu Fati, but there's something about whether it's mentality or something that stopped him from progressing to the level he was. Now, we've seen Cole Palmer absolutely devastating, and I love Cole Palmer. I think he's one of those maverick players who's like from a bygone era. Like we kind of need more players a little bit like Cole Palmer, mavericks. But I don't want to hear you talk about world class after one season and 7 games. Like, what we're talking about here? Like, stop. Cole Palmer's not even playing in the Champions League. You can talk about he's playing the Champions League 15 minutes of Man City. I'm not having that. Having that. Cole Palmer's not at the pressure of going into a title race. Cole Palmer is essentially of Chelsea over the last season a one-man team. Now, if you're a cog in a clock like Saka is, where you've got Kai Havertz there, you've got Ødegaard there, you've got Martinelli on the other side. Where is everything going through Bukayo Saka? It's not. So don't come to me with Cole Palmer numbers and tell me that Saka ain't doing it. These are 2 separate cases completely. 2 separate cases. Yeah? And I'm not having that Cole Palmer is this world-class tag and you're not giving Saka that credit because we're entertained by what Cole Palmer does. Cole Palmer needs to do it in the Champions League football. And no doubt, next season, Chelsea will be in that Champions League, so we will see what level he is at Champions League. And I'm under no illusion that Cole Palmer is a special talent, and he will get to that stage. But
he ain't done it at England. He ain't done it at England level yet.
Exactly, we have to see it. We have to see it at international level. Saka's been doing it for the last 4 seasons.
For years.
We have to see it at the Champions League. Saka's been done it. Was in the Champions League last season and this season, and shown that he can hack it at that level. And Premier League consistently for the last 4 to 5 years. I don't want to hear about Cole Palmer in the same breath as Bukayo Saka. Respectfully, all right? Yeah. Respectfully. I do not want to hear it. It's actually annoying.
I think what you got to do as well when you think of this world class tag and whether you're going to put this on them or not, you've got to put. Sometimes you've got to look at the teams that they play in. Because teams play in a different system, they got different jobs, right? And you can't expect Saka. Some people, he's got to score. He ain't scored as many goals as Salah and things like that. He's got to score 25 goals. No, he hasn't. Salah's the only one that bloody scores the goals. Do you know what I mean? If it ain't Salah, it might be one other player. you know, in Liverpool scores a goal. In Arsenal, everybody scored goals. You can't expect Salah to go in at 20. You know, you can't, and because we expect Havertz and Martinelli and Trossard and everybody's saying they've got. Do you know what I mean? Arsenal end up scoring 200 goals a season. You can't work like that. You know, you got to look at the guy that what he's done like consistently. He tipped me over the edge, Kears, because I think I've been a little bit harsh picking out certain games or a certain period of time. But over that period of time, since Arteta's first put him in the side, right, the kid for me is just gone up and up and up and up and up and up. And now he's at a level where I can't think of a better right winger in Europe. Would I have him out of Foden? Not in a million years. Foden's a top player. Can he do the things that Foden does on a football pitch for 90 minutes? No, he can't. That's why Pep don't play him in every game, because in certain games he can't play him because he don't do the job that Pep wants him to do. Saka plays every single game. Why? Because he does do everything that Arteta wants him to do.
It's a manager's dream, isn't he?
It's a manager's dream, mate.
The only thing is, Arteta was very cleverly put him on the right wing when he was playing at left back. I mean, it was the first manager actually played him was Emery, wasn't it? But he moved him to a right winger, which was very clever.
No, it was a bit good move. He could have played on the left. But I was actually getting annoyed when people were saying that Saka was a left back, because he'd done a job at left back. He'd done a job at left back. He was always a forward attacking player, and it would have been a waste. It would have been a waste, like sticking Gareth Bale at left back. It would have been a massive waste, and you can see now.
See, I don't think you can compare him. I don't know what you two guys think. I don't think comparing him with other world-class players is what you should do. I don't think you should be saying, oh, look what so-and-so's done. Look at the numbers that so-and-so got. So Saka's got to do that and do that, do that. I think we're all watched football enough to be able to use our eyes and tell the player is world-class enough or not.
Yeah, right? Past stats, I look for the quality of player and what they do on the pitch and the presence they have and how they take a game. I think Saka's on the verge of. Like I said, I think by the end of the season we would have seen a fair few games with Saka where he has just dominated. He's just gone at the player. Yeah. He scored a couple of goals, got an assist, just absolutely belted it. Like we saw, we're seeing glimpses of it now. I think.
See, the main person people who like to compare say, oh, to be world class, he's got to do what Salah's done. He's got to hit Salah's numbers. I hate that.
Different players.
I hate
Salah's
that.
An inside forward as well.
Yeah, different players, different teams, different ages. It's like Salah's 33, Salah's 23. Sorry, Saka's 23. Arsenal play differently from Liverpool, and Arsenal have 6 players who score over 10, 15 goals. Liverpool got 2 or 3, or might have 3 if they're lucky. It's different. You have to take it in isolation and just look at him and what he does to your club.
You don't judge world class on history, on statistics. I mean, Georgie Best never played a game in the World Cup. He was world class. So you can't do the statistics. You know, he scored some amazing goals. He may not have been United's top goal scorer. I think at the time, Dennis Law might have been. But he was still world class. So it's one of those things. It's like when you're buying a flat or a house or whatever. When you go in the room, you know that you want to buy it. You know this place is for you. You might look at one or two, only 2 of the rooms. You go, this is for me, right? And it's a bit like that for me for world class. I see a player, he's world class. I don't have to know about his scoring ability or his defending, because it's not all about scoring anyway. Some of the defenders years have been world class. So defenders, years ago, you never used to, even 5 years ago, probably, you never used to get how many interceptions or tackles, or it doesn't actually show. Even if you see the statistics nowadays, Steve, it doesn't show how good a game it was when he's had an interception. He might have hit his big toe.
Mate, I don't even look at. I don't know. I've watched football all my life. I've watched football my last 2-3 years. XG, AP, DFE, ACDC,
LMNP,
LXG. I mean, I've watched football all my life, and I've used my eyes. And
your eyes tell you, doesn't it? Your eyes tell you.
I've done well enough so far.
Exactly. Yeah.
Jamie Redknapp the other week. I'm sick of this XG. I'm sick of it. Can he finish or not? Huh? What's XG telling me? I'm sick of it, and I agree with him. It's got to the point where people look. I use
man.
stats as an aid, to back up my argument, or to
when
say
it's convenient for us.
But yeah. But it's honestly, the XG thing and all this, like, it is getting a bit much. It's getting a bit much. Like all these phrases that people are using. Low block, defends deep.
Low block.
Low block. You mean they're sitting in deep? They're parking the bus. Is that what you mean? Like it's all right. The press resistance. It means he can handle. He's composed and he can handle pressure, and he can handle the ball under pressure. Is that what you mean? Press resistance. Like it's all big. Like it's all these fashionable terms now. It's just like everyone's just throwing it about. Look, can he put it in the back of the net? And how many chances is he missing? Get him off the pitch. Like that's what we used to do.
Yeah.
But it says a lot. Like, remember back in the day, people used to talk about Andy Cole, about take 3 or 4 chances to score. Could you imagine Andy Cole these days?
Oh, mate.
Like,
crazy.
We used to be well harsh on footballers. We're a lot softer now. Well, I feel like we're a lot softer now.
Yeah. Big upload to Kai Havertz. You know?
Big up, loads, Kai Havertz. Excellent.
Big up, Kai Havertz.
Keeping it going. He is in 2024. Outside of penalty goals, he is contributed the same amount of goals as our man Erling Haaland.
Oh, great stat. Well, write that one. I use that one.
Rip it.
I love that one. That's a great stat. But it's just. No, as I say, 7 now in the Emirates, same as Robin Van Persie. So, any record where we can get rid of him.
100%. Still got signed shirt, still in the box, still ain't taking it out since the day that my brother gave it to me for my birthday, like a week after he signed for Man United. So, we'll stay there.
There. So, we got two. Are you bordering world class for Saka, or are you there? You're at the end of the season.
Yeah, I'm saying this season. This is the season. I'm saying this is the season.
I've gone.
Steve, I'm not. I can't argue it really. I can't argue.
But what's the question? The question: A, is Saka world class, or B, will Saka become world class?
I think we all think he will. I don't think there's.
Right.
Yeah, well, Steve's saying is. It's like Goldilocks and the Three Bears, isn't it? One's too salty, one's too sweet, and one's just right. Who is it? It's just right.
But there's levels, Melv, isn't there? Look, there's levels. What world class just can't be one sort of like, one thing, can it? No. World class, and everybody in that category is world class.
It's the same. Yeah.
World class, it's the same. It can't work like that, can it? He ain't Messi or Ronaldo, and they're a different thing. But it's still the same word. We're still using the word world class.
Yeah,
so there's got to be some kind of different
litmus
way.
Test. Yeah, but what I will say with them, for example, of what I'm talking about with Saka, when we're talking about levels, they are essentially goated because of what they've done throughout their career, because of the consistency. Like we couldn't have said that Messi is the greatest player of all time or Ronaldo is the greatest player of all time at the age of 23 because they haven't won the 7 or 8 Ballon d'Ors. They haven't won the World Cup, the European Championship, the Champions League multiple amounts of times. Like Saka's got to do that to get to the levels where it's not only undoubtable, but we're talking about him as a great. And I think that's what it is now. It's with the conversations have been, is he? We're now getting to the point where it's like, there's no real argument if he continues to be this consistent for me. Like, if he continues to be this consistent and he plays like he is at the moment, I can't argue. Even if he doesn't add that little bit of je ne sais quoi, I'm sorry, but I can't argue that this guy is world class because consistently, year after year, he's putting over 20 goal contributions in the Premier League.
That's mad. That's
year
mad,
after
mate.
year, and he's 23. Stella at 23 was playing for Fiorentina and Roma and hitting these numbers, to be fair to him, hitting these numbers in Serie A. And then he came to England and done the same again. Like, Saka needs to just, with the consistency that he's playing and the level of assurance that he's and confidence that he's playing with now, he will add levels to his game. He will add different the fill in the gaps that Melvin's talking about in his game because he's growing up. He's matured now.
Yeah, but we've got to remember as well, there are going to be games where he's going to have a bad game.
Definitely.
All players are going to have
and that's not the game where we go, see, I told you he's not world class.
This is it.
That's not that. This is it. For me, that ain't it. He's earned that little bit of leeway. Everyone has an off game.
As you say, there should be a litmus. There should be a level, shouldn't there? As you say, there's different levels of world class. You know, is what we got to say to ourselves is Bukayo Saka in one of those levels that we're talking about? We're talking like world class, but there's 5 levels of world class.
Well, right now, I think he's showing the doorman his invitation. That's what I think he's doing. he's showing the door. He's got your ID, and he's going, look, and he's pulling out his world class card. Do you know what I mean? That's what he's doing. He's just about to walk through the door. That's it.
I tell you, it's funny. Just quick before we go on or we leave, I was watching someone who could have been world class. You both, Melvin and I. I'll see like a collection of his goals for Arsenal the other day, and it made me remember, you know, and because I'd forgotten about him, to be honest with you. Nicholas Anelka. Oh, what a player. Gee, I tell you what, I've forgotten all about him.
I mean,
and I watched it, and then I started to go back when I used to watch him live, because I used to go every week. Oh, what a player. What happened to him, man? What happened to him?
Well, I mean, he had a good career.
Yeah, but he could have had much better one, Mel. He could have been anything.
But look. I know what you mean. But when you look back, 2 Premier League titles, 1 Champions League medal, a European Championship, a La Liga title.
Is that what he was?
When you look at his goals, 2 FA Cups. You look at his goals. As a player, there is no doubt the style of play, what we watched, that was world-class ability and world-class play.
He was unreal, right now. He was unbelievable.
Yeah, unreal. Now you add the goals. Yeah, let's look at the goals. 670 games. 300?
No.
300 goal contributions.
Wow.
Yeah, that's world class.
Do you know why he left? I mean, he had Bergkamp and Henry in front of him, which was a bit...
No, he never. Bergkamp went and... Henry wasn't at the club with him.
No. He left. Because...
I thought he left because of that.
No,
because he...
That's why we got Henry, because of him.
Oh, fair enough. I can't remember that.
Wenger was asked that question. He said he was always going to get Henry as well. That was going to happen.
Right.
He said he was always going to bring in Henry.
Did they leave the same season? Did they leave the like one come in, one went out?
No, we got Wiltord. It was a gap, a 1 season gap. We got Sylvan Wiltord, and then we got in Henry, I'm pretty sure, the following season.
All right.
But Anelka left because, and it was as simple as Real Madrid were the best team in the world at the time, and he wanted to play for the best team.
And his brothers were his agents. They wanted to keep with.
Yeah,
he was deadly.
If you watch his documentary, it's actually really good because I think he's a very misunderstood person. But he was.
I like to watch.
But
that.
when you look at listen to his documentary, he was just a driven kid. The reason why he was at Arsenal, remember, was because he felt that he should be starting at Paris Saint-Germain, and they weren't giving him that time of day. And so he was just like, well, if you're not going to play me, I'll go elsewhere. And it was just like, got to the point at Arsenal where he was being touted as one of the best young strikers in the world. Real Madrid come knocking. He was like, look, they're the best team in the world. I want to play for the best team in the world. And that was it. And it was a mistake. For me, it was a mistake.
He backed himself, didn't he? He really backed himself.
That's all it was.
Yeah. His head was turned. It's a mistake that he could have won a lot more, but then again, he made an absolute fortune out of getting transfer deals.
Yeah. He made. Look.
Somebody got. I just think we all know who he is. We all know how good he is. I didn't know that, he'd scored and made assists that much. But it just feels to me that when I had that little moment, I was sitting there and I just thought, this guy was unbelievable. He don't get talked about enough.
I saw him, I believe, play his first game for Arsenal.
I did. I see it as well.
Was it away to Derby?
Oh, it
When
would have been
he
his
come on
home
the
game. It would have been home game, mate. Sorry. So yeah, I never missed any home games. So
No,
it
the
would have
away
been that.
game, I think, away to Derby, which was the last game at the what's it called? Where did Derby play?
Baseball ground.
Baseball
Then,
ground.
mate.
Pride Park,
No,
yeah,
No, that
baseball
was
ground.
it was the last game at the baseball ground.
Yeah.
He came. I think he came on a sub, and he looked. He's about 19, I think.
Yeah.
He was unreal.
Ian Wright said he knew his time was up as soon as he saw him, and that says a lot.
Don't blame him. Can't blame him.
Ian Wright was a menace. In the Premier League alone, Nicholas Anelka got 180 goal 180 goal contributions in 364 games.
Yeah,
that's
not bad.
frightening. Yeah, that's not bad.
There weren't many players quick as him. I tell you, he was once he.
That
was good night.
I love that goal. It wasn't a match winner, but I love that goal. He got away to Blackburn. Do you remember it when he ran about 60 yards and the defender was it's in the snow. We played Blackburn away, and it was the season we won the title. And he did a step over with a goalkeeper. Goalkeeper went over there.
I do remember that. Yeah, and he one where he had gloves on.
Oh, fantastic!
I mean, the goal that stands out for me was cup final against Newcastle.
Oh yeah.
Chested it down, bang.
That was unbelievable. Yeah.
What player? What could have been? What could have been?
Well, you say what could have been. You've just read out what he's done.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking more about Arsenal, but look.
Oh
yeah. I can't knock that. Nicholas Anelka in the end, excellent player. Quickly, little round up on this one. There was a little bit concern for me at the start after the draw against Atalanta. It felt like we needed to get 3 points against Paris Saint-Germain, no matter how tough it would be. But in the end, Steve, it was a pretty convincing win by Arsenal, and first half especially was a very good performance from the boys.
Yeah. I just I didn't see much of the game. I was away for that, but from what
stitch up there.
Dropped you right in it, didn't he?
There you go, mate.
Right
that one.
Yeah, I could have like. I was gonna wing it, but the first question put me.
But you've already mentioned it earlier on as well.
He did as well.
Yeah. So even the hint was there, wasn't it? It was like he's sitting there with. Yeah, I know he said it anyway, but
as soon as I said that, he's already said he didn't really watch the game, did he?
So basically, people, I haven't got
next.
But Havertz again, great, and a nice little header, goal. Saka, beautiful. PSG, lot of people. Oh, it's the PSG. They ain't the team they were. Look, it's PSG.
Yeah, I did like that one. That one.
Yeah, but that's Arsenal. Yeah, we're gonna get that. That's a top win, mate. Yeah, we needed that. That makes the point now. We've got Atlanta like quite a good, decent point now.
Yeah,
we're 4 points in the table. So move on to the next one, and we move on to the next person to talk about it, please, if you can.
Oh, thank you. Right, leaving everybody. Right.
Quickly.
Arsenal Champions League. A convincing 2-0 victory against PSG. Yes, it was a PSG without a Dembele, a PSG who were not as good as we would have expected, but still, Arsenal went out there and it didn't really give PSG a chance to do much in that first half, really, did they?
It was convincing, but I think more so it was impressive because you're playing against a team that has played in Europe so many seasons now. So and we've only played in the last season was our first season for quite a few years. So to play against a top club, they are a top club with or without Dembele is really a good thing to do. And the way we played first half, and I thought the game management second half was good as well. We didn't panic. We didn't suddenly go for a third. We had a couple of chances. And just one thing, I don't know if you saw it, Steve, but the Martinelli miss. We did a bit of football.
What are you trying to do to me, Milf? What are you trying to do?
No, but I'm just saying, if you haven't seen it, give it a look, give it a watch. It was fabulous one-touch football. Flipped over the centre half. In come Martinelli. You wouldn't put your house on it, but you'd put your computer on it, and he missed it. He smashed it right at the. He didn't even smash it. He hit it straight at the keeper. But that would have been our goal of the season, actually, in my opinion. But no, great win. We, I don't know how many games we play before we.
Eight. Yeah.
Well, we keep going like
only
that.
Another 6.
We're not going to be too far off, are we? We keep playing like that.
Yeah, I think we all get. I don't think it's a weird. I mean, I know Kieran don't like it. It's a strange.
I hate it.
It's a strange thing. I mean, we got to get in the top 24.
Yeah.
To go through to the next round.
But it's the top 8 goes automatically through, and then the next 16 plays a one-off game. Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm
that's right. It is. It's right. That's right.
Take a course in it next week.
It's a weird one. It's a weird one. It is a weird one. But it makes every sort of game that little bit thing, because I think you do play better teams and there is better matches, but I think we're just going to have to see how it pans out.
I don't like it, Steve, because none of the games are definitive. I only like European games where they're definitive. Like, you go to a game and you go, oh, we've won, oh, we've lost, or we've drawn. Doesn't really matter. We've got another X amount of games to play. I don't like that. European nights for me should be special, and every game should be special, and it takes it away.
Yeah.
Right. Well, hopefully we don't come to rue what you're saying. Come the knockout stages, the last 16, because that's the next one. If we don't get top 8, I think it's a one-off game, and then you're through. A bit like the old school European Cup. So we will see that then.
It's a league that goes through the whole year, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's a whole season. It's not like before where it starts late and whatever, and you get a gap. This is just constant, non-stop, all the way through the season.
8 games. We will see. We will see very soon. All right, that is all we have time for. Thank you for everyone who's dropped in and drops us a comment or hit up a like and hit retweet. If you are watching on X, I can't believe I said X, Twitter, aka Twitter. Press that like and subscribe button. If you watch, or press that retweet and like. If you are watching on YouTube, press that like and subscribe button. If you are new to the show, if you are regular to the show, press that like and press that share button as well. Also, we've got one on watching on Twitch. Thank you very much for watching on Twitch. Hopefully, you're following us. Yes, we are on Twitch as well. Thank you for joining us tonight, Steve.
Cheers, mate. Pleasure. Enjoyed it. Thanks.
And thank you for joining us tonight, Melvin.
Thanks again. Thanks again, gentlemen.
All right. Make sure you join us next Tuesday. There's an interlull at the moment, isn't it? No, it's international break.
Are we going to talk about some knitting program next week?
I mean, we might look. I'll find something, but it's definitely not going to be talking about England.
Yeah.
I will find something. I will find
Good.
Maybe something fun. Maybe something fun.
Yeah, fun.
Right.
What can be fun? The worst? No. Nothing's worse about Arsenal, is it? So
we can do something. We can find something. All right. Thank you for joining us tonight, people. Peace out.
Cheers.
Stay safe and wash your hands.